Big Blue Spotlight this week. Did the Giants close the gap in the NFC East?
Mm.
What do you think?
On paper, feels like we did, a little bit, but I mean, by the end of the day, we ain't see nothing. Everybody's names, we signed some names, we signed some pieces. We have general good ideas of what we think our offense gonna look like, you know. But we also have a bunch of chefs in the kitchen as far as the offense. Matt Nagy offense, Greg Roman run game. Are we gonna be passing more? Are we gonna be running more? What kind of team are we really gonna be? We're looking like we're gonna be a run kind of team, but passing first. So I think ultimately, to be honest, on paper we closed the gap, but realistically, these other teams have been making moves as well. Really, more so the Commanders made moves, but
Yeah.
it's hard because the Eagles are still like one of the top teams in the NFC.
Mhm.
So it's like, can we beat the Eagles? Yeah, we beat them last year, but that they was missing not Jalen Carter, right? Or
Yep.
the defensive tackle, he wasn't playing.
Yep.
And when he played, and then we played them the second time around,
They
that's
look
when Cam,
different. They look
it
different.
was a whole new game, bruh.
Mm.
So I'm like, and that's the interior defensive line. So, and with Jordan Davis it's just like, yeah, if we can, all right, yeah, we split with the Eagles last year. So if we split with them again this year, okay, then yeah, we are making moves forward, and we're getting closer to closing that gap. Because I'm not even at this point, I ain't even looking at Washington or Dallas. Like I'm got my eyes. We beat the Eagles. We beat one of the top teams in the NFC. We there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel.
I hear you. I hear
What you
you.
think, Mike?
I so I'm gonna agree with you, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think the hardball effect for us. I think with the culture change from Harbaugh and the coaches that he's bringing in, that alone is before we even get to the roster additions, right? The coaching change alone, I think, automatically puts our front foot forward for us to be better than we were last year. Now you add the additions of the roster that they just did with the offseason and everything like that. Like I just said, like the people that I listed, like when you have those names on paper, it looks like there's not many teams in the division that's going to be able to stop those names that I just said. But again, we have to
Right.
see them perform, right? So I think as far as us closing the gap, I think we have some players, but we got to see like what this coaching staff is going to put together. I was watching Talking Giants with Pat Leonard, right? And he did an
Yeah.
interview with Wink Martindale. And Wink has stated, I love Wink as a defensive coordinator. Like I was so pissed that the whole situation went down with Dayball, but whatever. Long story short, I saw that interview. I was like, I gotta watch this. But Wink said in the interview, he was like, every decision that's made is going to be through one lens now. And it's, does this decision put us in a position to beat the Eagles?
Mm.
And I think with everything that Harbaugh's been doing and all these decisions that we've been making, that is the objective at hand.
Right.
So, like looking at the roster right now, before we even get to the draft, before we get to the rest of the free agency, I think that's what he's making moves on, trying to make sure that we can put some points up, and we also got some people on the back end, signing Jason Pinnock back. You know what I'm saying? Ardarius, we got
Washington.
Newsom. So it looks like
Mhm.
he's making the adjustments to make sure that we can compete.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again,
I just
it's I can't say that we close the gap before I see us play anything. It's tough to say with so many new coaches in the building. We don't know what
Mhm.
product we're gonna see. Everybody's excited. We all hype. Everybody's hype. Some people might be
Yeah.
oversizing. I think we're gonna win more than 7 games. Like that's atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
Don't disrespect me, but as far as like
Right.
that's rude as shit. They said us and the
Mm.
Commanders are gonna win 7.5 games. So as far as I'm concerned, don't put me in the same bucket as Washington. Don't do that.
Yeah. Right.
It's JD 5 or JD 6. I'm going with
JD6.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
there
saying?
you
So
go.
that's the way I look at it. But I do think on paper right now, our roster is not far off from the Eagles. We're not far off.
Okay.
And if that's the bar, then we there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again,
Okay.
we got to see it.
Yeah. We just need to just make sure we get that good right tackle. I mean, right guard, man. Because if Jordan Davis or whoever lines up over Evan Neal, the game is going to be. I do not want to see Dart running for his life. I mean, Dart got that magic, but
Yeah.
when it comes to that interior pressure, it makes the world of difference. You can only run the ball to one side, and then always got pressure on one side, especially that's the side he's looking at. So you always gonna be bailing the wrong way. It's just like, ah, we
Look,
just need to get that right guard spot solidified.
definitely, but that was also why we were so happy that they re-signed Illuminor, bro. Because like
Yeah,
outside of Illuminor, bro, it's fucking slim pickings for them tackles, man.
yeah,
You know, but
right.
we would have been this whole off season would have been a whole different conversation if we didn't get Illuminor back. Like there's
Oh my gosh.
the whole conversation is the whole vibe, the whole mentality, everything's different if we didn't sign him.
Yeah, you're right.
You
We
know,
need.
so I'm
I.
I'm happy we got him back, but because that could have been a situation, that could have been a
Yeah,
situation that I
no
didn't want to
Luminor.
see. Oh my goodness,
Yeah, I never thought at this day and age like how much you value these offensive linemen because
right?
you really can't do nothing. And you see it firsthand, like, yo, 3 and out, 3 and out. What's going on? And it'd be
Oh,
one defensive tackle.
bro,
Just the defensive line. Like,
just
dang, yo.
violating. Like, bro, is anybody gonna block this man?
Exactly,
Like,
man.
bro, are
He
y'all
trying
here?
to right, and that's when Patrick Card comes in to handy because he pretty much like a guard. Essentially, he's just a little bit faster. He can move. So
Oh yeah.
I think even with the addition of him, that helps with our run game and interior blocking. Like, what if he's in the backfield and we just got all wide receivers like different formations? How we can do it? Like, all right, instead of we need help on this side instead of having Tracy in the backfield. Now Tracy's in the slot and Patrick Card's in the backfield and he just blocking for Dart. He
Uh,
better. So it's just like I think the things that we can do can definitely open up some
but
stuff.
and the great thing is Nagy is building the offense around Dart. It's not
Yeah.
let me bring over the Chiefs. Let me do, let me listen to Roman and just do Roman. Nah, he's gonna build this offense around Dart. So I think they're all gonna
Mhm.
be collective minds in this like stew of coaches that they got, and they're gonna create like a crazy powerhouse. I think it's gonna be like a run and gun. We're gonna
Yeah.
hit you straight in your mouth. We're gonna toss the ball left. We're gonna toss that bitch right, and then after that, you thinking we're tossing it again, and it's going dropping that joint in the
Right.
end zone. I think it's gonna be crazy, man. I hope like the way that they're lining things up. I hope that's what we're looking at, bro. Because the way Ricard
Mhm.
was opening up holes for Derrick Henry last season, let me
I
tell you
know, right?
something. That and Tyrone behind him, that's gonna be crazy.
Mhm. And when you say Matt Nagy made me think of he was the head coach of the Bears, right?
Yep.
And that's when Darnell Mooney had 1,000 yards, and Justin Fields was the QB. And
Yeah.
Justin Fields, I'm sorry, he hasn't been the greatest. Not even I'm sorry. The film don't lie. He hasn't been the greatest NFL quarterback in a while. So I'm like, bruh, if Justin Fields did that with Darnell Mooney, like, what is JD6 about to do with him? You know what I'm
It's
saying?
only up
Especially in
from
a
here.
better scheme.
Yep.
Like, come on now. So that's why, and that made me think of Darnell Mooney being an underrated signing for us. Like,
Yep.
he really about to make some plays. So
Like
I'm happy. I'm happy with this roster.
they made some sneaky signs. Like the last few signs were like real sneaky, like out of nowhere. Because like they just released the information on like you remember it was up to 10 million. Like I think it was
Right.
like 3.5 to $4 million with incentives to get you
real cheap.
So like got him for the low, man, and I think that's a steal.
So, and the thing is, if they hit those incentives, because I know Calvin Austin, he got like barely nothing, for especially in the wide receiver market. So it's like if they hit those incentives, we really doing well. And if Darnell Mooney gets the whole 10 mil, then yeah, we most likely in the playoffs because he's been balling. We've been winning games and things like that. So I'm
And
just happy where we at.
that's one more thing I want to say before we even slide to the next segment. The one thing I want to say is the
So,
Donna Ponte and her work with these contracts. I think they have been doing work with the contracts the way that they've been setting it up because they're putting everybody on these quote unquote 3-year deals, but they're really like 2-year deals, which puts them
right.
in a position that if they don't do well this year, they can drop them without being expensive. So it's dog, they're doing work and it's silent because a lot of people don't pay attention to like the numbers once the people get on their team. Because like we were talking about cap like a few weeks ago, and then if you look at all the signings that we did, like the cap conversation that we had is completely irrelevant. They
Yeah,
went
for
out and did
real.
whatever the fuck they wanted to do. So like we going over those numbers, but like the numbers they have so much flexibility as far as what they can do. It's like again, like I said, I'm not a capologist, but I can tell you right now, like looking up the cap numbers at the beginning of the offseason and looking at the signings, there was no reason for us to waste time looking at those, looking at the cap information because they're gonna sign who they want. They're gonna if they want the player, they're gonna get them. They're gonna make it
Right.
work. It's not gonna be a situation like, oh, we can't afford them. Like that's dumb. It's a stupid mentality. I don't know why we're doing that. But
You know,
what Dawn has done with these contracts, it's two things. One, it doesn't lock us in if they're not good.
right.
Two, it lights the fire under their ass so that way they know they're gonna get this money if they perform well. So they have the push to actually want to do something. So I
Right.
love what they're doing with this with the contracts and everything.
And we not one thing we're not doing is we're not adding void years.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
we're not
Totally
adding
different.
mad stuff because that's what a lot of
Yeah,
other teams
future.
do, and it seems smart. Like I know the Eagles do it, and this it just other teams are making these void years and pushing contracts out so they have lesser impact per year. You know what I'm saying? So we're not doing that. So it really kind of plays into exactly what you're saying. Like, yeah, you ball out now, you get paid, and it's going to be better for the player and the team because if you don't, then you don't get paid, and we could just move on from you and let you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm happy.
No, it's fire, man. It's great. Again, gotta see it in motion, but everything on paper right now looks good.
Big Blue reborn from the city, from the city, from the city where pressure makes legends.